What trait of yours is most likely to get you killed one of these days? I can spot a narcissist in 5 minutes flat. It sounds awesome on paper, but it has made me a target practically everywhere I go. I feel like I'm living out the movie Constantine. I can see them, and they can see me. Seeing them, and I can't hide it. Apparently it's all over my face. And these sick people are everywhere. And they wreak havoc wherever they go, many times undetected. Learn about narcissistic personality disorder. It could save your life one day. That after you learn how to hide it well. Me not being able to do that might be my end one day. I'd love to say something cool, like my willingness to throw hands for my loved ones or my rescue habit that has frustrated many a partner because I put myself in high-tension situations. But to be honest, I'm just a fucking moron when I'm walking down the street, and I'll probably get hit by a car. Sometimes I'll just wander across the road like a wallaby spirit to control of my brain. Sometimes my partner holds onto my sleeve like I'm a kid who shut the leash and desperately wants to get up close and personal with a truck reel. Over caution, had she not been weighed down with 50 pounds of safety equipment, which included, but was not limited to, distress flares and a first aid kit from which a basic field hospital could have been resourced. My current method for crossing the street is fuck it, we ball. If there's not a lot of lanes, I have very little patience before I just sprint across before the next car can make it, or I just walk out. Either he stops and I get across or he doesn't, and now all my fears and worries are splattered along the pavement. You having the cash to own a car doesn't mean you own the place. I'm brutally honest, and I don't give a fuck if I hurt people's feelings from being brutally honest. I tell it like it is. I call it as I see it. And if people get offended, it's because they know I'm right. When I was growing up, you'd get your ass beat for being offended by anything. Nowadays, just about everyone is a fucking snowflake that's offended by everything. Family history of cancer, Alzheimer's, heart disease, and a few other things. Plus, I have some new and interesting medical problems that are rare even among my dying early family. Mine is called non-food-related exercise-induced anaphylaxis, which basically means that if I jog for 2 minutes, I'll die. I better keep that EpiPen handy. I was actually kidnapped and returned when I was 6, on my way home from school. But I really couldn't shut up. I have special needs, so I didn't quite grasp what happened before many years later. So I will probably get killed because I am a bit naive and believe in the good in people, or for not being able to shut up. Trust issues, as in I am too trusting of people. I used to play high-pixel skyblock and finally reached a peak of like 700 meters. Trusted a random stranger that visited me and lost 540 meters. I trusted another person after that. I never learned that this has gotten me a lot of friends I would never have had otherwise. My need to respond with tit-for-tat aggression and someone tries to stare me down or intimidate me, parents included. I'm still a student and not the biggest size person on this earth, lol. Also, my utter laziness, suspected ADHD tendency to procrastinate on even the most pertinent shite. My absolute refusal to watch, listen, or absorb the news and or current events. If shit goes down, I'll be the last to know. And it'll be too late. I'll be one of those people at the end, sitting, drinking, and just watching it all unfold. In the meantime, I'll be happier than most people. Tech repairs, compressed air to clean out PSUs, mostly because I can't stand the feeling of gloves on my hand when I already have a pre-existing physical condition, and I also just can't feel anything with gloves on. My constant training of various martial arts. One of these days, I'm going to shift my full body weight and kinetic chain behind a punch or kick and snape something inside of me that I can't pronounce nor explain how it moved out of place. I've already been shot when I was younger because of how much of a ruthless, angry shit I was. So probably that LOL. Now, even though it's controlled a lot better by miles, probably still my temper or disregard for my own safety. Apathy mostly. I know it's an easy thing to say when you haven't experienced it, but if someone put a gun to my head, I'm not certain that it'd be strong enough to care if they pulled the trigger, lol. I'd like to be wrong on that though. My natural tendency to show contempt towards authority plus my natural tendency to go fucking crazy if someone tries to restrain me. Those are my traits, and it will definitely be a police officer who fucking kills me. Being trusting and taking people AR face value. I mean, oops. I took a year or two of BJJ and Krav Maga. But I take people as they seem. I would 100 be dead. But I seem to be inordinately lucky. My sense of invincibility when it comes to trying new, sometimes risky activities might just be my downfall. Jumping off that cliff into the unknown water below seems exhilarating until it's not. I'm an adrenaline junkie with no self-preservation instinct. I free dive in tight underwater caves and wrestle with sharks for fun. One day I'll find out that the fucking around part is really fun. When I talk to people, I apparently have no expression in my eyes or face, and I have a very harsh resting B face. It has led to a lot of issues with my relationships and how people perceive me. My tendency to help others with relationship drama. I'm a reluctant relationship coach with the shoulder to cry on. I'm sure one of my friends' toxic GFBF will murder me one day. Wanting to see the good in everyone, I recently tried to help out a neighbor and had a very creepy experience. Later found out he was a registered sex offender. So much for helping. I have a hard time admitting when I'm lost or need help, which could easily end up putting me in a dangerous situation. My pride could quite literally lead me down a dark alley. Just speaking out, I feel like 9 times out of 10 I'm the one who calls out the person who no one likes or agrees with. It's definitely bit me in the ass a couple times already. My fierce independence and reluctance to wait for backup when I should could definitely be a problem. I'm the type to try and fix a potentially dangerous situation on my own. I'll get involved in shit I don't need to sometimes. I'm not one to start a fight at all, but I've been in a few when dudes were being assholes and wouldn't listen to reason. My mouth, as I've gotten older, the filter between my mouth and my brain has just about completely disappeared. If you are being an asshole, I will definitely let you know. My lack of ability to look the other way from bullies. Gonna get me stabbed or shot someday stepping up to the wrong one in somebody's defense. Totally worth it anyway. I say curiosity, my husband will say it's being too trusting. Hopefully, it's not some horrible outcome involving a combination of both. I really should be supervised. I can never say no to a dare, which is likely to be my undoing. It's all about the thrill of the challenge. But one of these days, I might accept the wrong challenge. Being overly trusting has always been my Achilles heel. I tend to take people at their word, which in a less than ideal situation could definitely lead to trouble. Probably my willingness to help. A scary large percentage of people killed at car accidents are those that stopped to help and were involved in a secondary accident. I tend to underestimate the weather, convinced I can handle whatever Mother Nature throws my way. This stubbornness could easily get me caught in a dangerous storm. My unfounded belief that if I were to encounter a mountain lion on a hiking trail, it would see my soul and bond with me. My last words would be PSS, PS, PSS, PS. I'm too outgoing and trusting. I'm also a bit of a scatterbrain. By bit I mean the biggest I know, because I have ADHD combined type. Medicated, but only half. Compulsive defiance. When I was a kid and they tested me, and I was thinking I might get autism or ADHD, but they said I had oppositional defiant disorder. Almost no impulse control. Be it a stupid decision gets me killed in a freak accident, or I can't stop eating junk food and it gives me cancer or heart disease. It used to be my alcoholism, and it was killing me both through drinking poison and the high-risk things I would do while impaired. But I put it behind me. I've got this habit of pushing boundaries just to see how far I can go. It's all fun and games until I push the wrong boundary with the wrong person. I've got this habit of pushing boundaries just to see how far I can go. It's all fun and games until I pushed a wrong boundary with the wrong person. My passion for night walks, it was a lot safer in my home country. And now I'm literally in the UK, lol, like imagine how badly my life is on the line. I'm ignoring a pain by my pelvis that sometimes leaves me frozen and breathless because I don't want to hear that I need to go under the knife. My ADHD tendency to be a distracted driver. I genuinely pray driverless cars come sooner than later because I seriously doubt I'm the only one. My habit of always needing to have the last word, even with people who are clearly unstable, could one day escalate a situation beyond control. My penchant for late-night adventures in the city might not be the safest habit. The quiet, empty streets might not be as deserted as I think. I have an extremely active middle finger when driving because I cannot stand idiots behind the wheel. I've had a gun pointed at me twice. I'll call the wrong person out on their BS and they'll shoot me. Growing up with bullies means I have very little patience for bullying. My addiction to adrenaline-pumping activities knows no bounds. Skydiving, bungee jumping, you name it. It's all fun until one goes awry. The fact that I've never been big and strong enough to defend myself, and I'd probably be too timid to defend myself even if I could. I'm a woman. But also I'm pretty progressive, and that tends to not sit well with the types of people who like to do murders. I like to commute on my motorcycle, sometimes a little fast. Vids of close calls in profile. It could happen any day now. My smartass mouth. One day I'm gonna come back at the wrong person who probably deserves it, and I'm gonna get shot.